Happy Mother's Day. In this month when we explore the topic of justice, it's fitting that Mother's Day is part of our time together. We're going to celebrate the mothers that we have, the mothers that we are. And as we do, I also want to say that for many of you, and I know because you've shared with me, the sense of justice related to your mother is a hard thing to come by. Many of you feel that your mother was unable to care for you the way that you needed, was unable to be there for you, and in some cases was downright cruel. I just want to name that the topic of motherhood is so loaded for so many people. For people who have issues with their own mothers, for people who have issues around fertility or children. So I really, on this day, want to share a moment where we acknowledge how deeply complicated the issue of motherhood is. You know, it's waved around in our country with apple pie as being a universal good, but nothing's ever that simple. So as we explore the topic of motherhood today, please know that for many, many people, this is complicated. And if you are feeling that, you're not alone. We'll have time later to look at a slideshow of mothers. And you may not have put your mother there because you didn't want to. If you didn't, please imagine the mother you wish you had and just imagine her picture there. We all need mothering wherever we're going to get it. You know, my own mother was a mixed blessing like so many. One thing that she did give me a solid gift about was justice. My mother was a fighter. She fought for all kinds of people and stuff from the minute she was a kid. She says she doesn't know where this came from. Eleanor Roosevelt was the woman that she most admired, and she thinks maybe Eleanor Roosevelt's values and work came into her own home in West Virginia, where racist language was normal, where hateful talking about people who were poor was normal. My dad just told me last year that the way my mom got to be class president in Charleston, West Virginia, is that she went out and solicited the votes from all the people who lived in the hills and the valleys. That she, unlike the popular people, would go and talk to these very poor people, and so they liked her and they voted for her. My mom had never told me that when I was impressed that in her yearbook she was the class president and the homecoming queen and all of these things. She got popular through being an organizer, and I loved learning that. Not only my own mother's teaching to me, but many other mothers have been instrumental in handing down the values of justice to generations. One of my favorite mothers in history is Mamie Till, the mother of Emmett Till, who, as you may remember, was brutally murdered for behaving badly according to white people, which meant that he made an expression that they didn't like, coming from the North, visiting relatives in the South. He was brutally killed, and what Mamie Till did was insist that his body be shown in an open casket, his bloated, tortured body be shown so that people had to deal with the impact of their behavior. That body was viewed by thousands and thousands of people, and I've always felt that Mamie Till, by showing that body in the 50s, was part of what started the civil rights movement, really rising, people really getting courage to stand up for themselves, a mother's courage. We saw the same kind of courage just a few years ago when Cindy Sheehan, in a mother's grief and mourning for her son Casey, killed in Iraq, put a stop to all of the "to question the war is unpatriotic, we must support the war." She came in, a mother's grief trumped patriotism. It was amazing to see. It was as if she broke a dam. Someday I want to see mothers breaking dams not by losing their children. Recently we've been witnessing and grieving with the mother of Trayvon Martin, another kid killed for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And once again, the mother carries that grief, as do the father and the other relatives, but it's the mother and the grief of the mother that we can relate so much to. It was the grief of the mother that launched Mother's Day with Julia Ward Howe, the mother saying, this isn't what we want for any of our kids. We don't care what side you're on. And that is the Mother's Day we celebrate. The Mother's Day where mothers claim our full power as moral, intellectual, full human beings demanding justice. So in that spirit, I say to you, Happy Mother's Day.